Hi everyone, it's Chloe. I have another video for you this week. This week's topic is advice for people who are thinking about transitioning or just beginning their transition. So I think that there are a lot of videos out there like this, but this is just going to be my perspective. So let's get started. Number one. So I think that when considering transitioning or just beginning your transition, you really need to do a lot of research. I definitely did a lot of research because I was considering transitioning for a very long time. That was kind of my personal struggle throughout most of my life. So about middle school, late middle school, 8th grade, is when I really started feeling that urge to transition, but I really didn't do all that much research because I was scared to, and you know, it's kind of hard to feel that way, and I don't know. Anyways, back on topic. But do your research. Google is your best friend. YouTube is your best friend. So I honestly just go into Google and type in transgender resources. Just a couple off the top of my head. There's genderlife.com. There's susansplace.org, I think. And also if you're in the Minneapolis area or Minnesota, and this is just a good resource in general, there is the Transgender Health Coalition, and they have a ton of resources. So just do your research. When I was thinking about it, I went to YouTube. YouTube was a big thing, so I would type in transgender, MTF transgender, M2F transgender timeline, and just, you know, see the changes that people are going through. Just hear other people's stories, and I think that's really what, you know, got me on track to transitioning. I would say I seriously started thinking about transitioning my senior year of high school. Excuse me, there's something in my nose. So senior year of high school is when I really got to YouTube. Some people who are on here that really helped me were Julie Vu, who's Princess Jules, on here on YouTube. I think another one was Minor Qback. I don't believe she's making videos anymore, but she still has her videos up. Those were really helpful. And it's just, you know, knowing that other people are experiencing what you're experiencing is, you know, a good thing. And they give you a lot of advice, and I think those are helpful, and that's what I'm hoping to do with this video. So yeah, just do your research. Okay, number two, I think that it is really important for you to develop a support system. Transition is a very lonely time, especially if you don't have any other trans friends, or especially if you're from Texas like I was, or someplace that there's not a lot of trans people or out trans people that you know. So for me, I'd say that find people who are supportive of you, find your closest friends, your closest family members, and let them know what you're going through. Honesty and open communication is probably the best thing for you. I told my middle brother probably 3 years before I actually started transitioning, but he was always there to have a conversation with me if I ever needed it. So just find that person or those people that you can talk to no matter what. Transition is a very lonely time because people don't know what you're going through. Transition is a very difficult process because it's, you know, it's physical, it's emotional, it's mental. It's just a complete transformation, and you're very vulnerable, and it's good to have people surrounding you that can help you through that. So yeah, just, you know, find people. Number three, I think that this kind of goes with number 2, but finding a good psychologist or psychiatrist, whichever you prefer. I think in the United States it's required for you to see a psychologist. That may be changing. But again, it's a part of your support system. Just having someone to talk to about the things that you've gone through, help you work through any issues, and really help mentally prepare you for what's to come. As far as transitioning, I think it's really important to find someone who's versed in having transgender clients. So I know Psychology Today has a search bar where you can search transgender, and there should be, providers in your area where that specify in that niche, if you will. Niche, if you will. God. Who says that? But yeah, find a good psychologist. My psychologist, she had transgender patients before. She was great. It was just very conversational, not too formal, and I was just honest. I told my story, and that, I think, is going to number 4. Be honest with yourself. It's not something to bedazzle. It's not something to, exaggerate or to fluff up. Your life story is your life story. I think it's very, very common for trans women to say, that they always hated their genitalia, blah, 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 and that, that may seem more convincing, or that may seem, sorry, my Facebook's on, that may seem more convincing, or that it makes you more trans to other people. For me, that wasn't necessarily the case. I never hated it, I was just indifferent towards it. I didn't identify with it. And so, being honest about that and being honest with the way you feel is very important, especially when it comes to your psychologist and your support system. So, it takes a lot of thought and reflecting to get to the mental state where you're ready to transition. And I think my last piece of advice is and everyone has different paces in life for anything, but for me, I transitioned fairly slowly. So I told people, I told a little more people, I told a little more people, but it was just a gradual thing. So once I started presenting female, people weren't shocked, and I think that's a big thing. So just slowly letting people know. Slowly, I like to dress androgynous for a little bit, or more feminine, and I think that kind of helps ease people into accepting your transition, or the beginning of your physical transition. So, like I said, transition is a personal experience, but it's also an experience for the people around you. So it's good to try to include or try to think of other people as well. So those are my quick little tips for beginning transitioners or people who are thinking about transitioning. If you guys have any other questions or comments, just leave them down in the comment box below. Until next time, guys, thanks so much for watching. Bye!